The storm is full of these ghost riders, and they're essentially these gnarly like cowboys that grab your souls and take you to some other place.
Today's episode of Clevver Newsfeed is brought to you by T-Mobile. Keep up with the freshest pop culture news with T-Mobile.
Okay, I want to hear about the villain this season because every year it just gets sicker and crazier and wilder, and we freaking love it. What is going to happen this season to take things to the next level?
Yeah, check it out. So we've got these things called the Ghost Riders, and they come with a thing called the Wild Hunt. Pretty creepy, right?
What's the Wild Hunt?
The Wild Hunt is essentially, honestly, there's so much folklore and mythology behind this thing that it gets really involved and detailed that I can't tell you verbatim what it's all about. But the Wild Hunt is essentially this supernatural storm that comes and it's passing through Beacon Hills because of all the crazy shit that's happening in Beacon Hills right now. And the storm is full of these ghost riders, and they're essentially these gnarly like cowboys that grab your souls and take you to some other place. And if you don't, something happened to that, so that the Wild Hunt cannot leave Beacon Hills. And so what I like about these villains is that they are every villain on our show has had an agenda. Everyone wants to be the villain. They want to be the boss. They want to obtain,
kill everyone and ruin everyone.
All the power, and be all powerful. But these guys, they're just doing things like without a thought. It's just who they are. They're not trying to attain a certain amount of power. They're just stuck, and they're just like mindless zombies, doing these crazy things. So that's what I like about them. And then there's some other cool little villains that we've got that are different than the Ghost Riders. But it's what I like about this season is that it's kind of not slowed down, but it's easier to understand. It's more structured. It's not as random. It's really understandable and kind of one track minded this season. Which is really nice because it can get twisty and turny through all the other ones.
Fans are really excited because Jeff Davis went on the record pretty recently and said that Stiles and Lydia are going to have a very important scene. Not exactly sure what the wording was, but in episode 1 of season 6. I mean, what can you tell us? Stydia is like all anyone wants to know about on the social needs.
Well, there's definitely some Stydia news, and you have to stay tuned because Jeff will kill me.
And then there's the new villains, which there are every single season. I'm constantly surprised by where the show goes. What are you most excited about as far as the villains go this season? Because they sound a lot different than what we've seen in the recent past.
I like that it reminds me a bit of the White Room with Dylan and with Stiles, and in that the villain isn't as gory this season, and they're maybe not even necessarily killing these victims. And so I like that there's a lot of time jumps, geographical jumps. It plays with space and time.
Interesting. And there's not only one villain this season, there's going to be multiples, right?
Correct.
Okay, so beyond that, beyond Stydia, what are you most excited about for season 6?
I think the storyline. I really think this reminds me of like a season 3A, and it was one of my favorite seasons. So I'm excited for. Space and time is the only hint I can give you guys.
It's so shrouded in secrecy. I gotta ask the questions, but I know you guys are basically your lips are sealed on everything happening on the show.
I will say one tidbit for season 6 is there's a lot of different time periods, which is what I'm excited about as well.
Interesting. So a lot of flashbacks, flash forwards, stuff like that.
Correct.
I'm excited about that. Maybe some
flash sideways. There's always all kinds of
different dimensions of time. What's going on? So that kind of would lead me to think that we're going to see hopefully some old characters return to the show.
There's definitely a chance for that.
This show doesn't surprise me anymore because I know crazy things happen, but it does surprise me. So what's coming?
Isn't that crazy? I heard somebody talk about this today when we were doing some interviews, and they were saying, in season 3, they were like, there's no way this can get better. There's no way I'm going to be surprised. This has to be it. And then, season 4, and then season 5, and then, come season 6, it's like they're always, pushing the bar and stretching these limits that, people think have been set on the show. And it's truly incredible. And I owe so much credit to everyone involved, the writers and producers, Jeff Davis especially, truly gifted, and it's awesome to be a part of it. But season 6 is going to be, it's going to be up the same alley. It's going to be full of surprises. It's going to be a lot of mystery, a lot of what Teen Wolf is known for, and that's exploring this drama, this action, this horror, this romance. It's like we kind of get to touch on everything. As far as like the storyline for season 6 itself, I don't want to go too far into it. Just, you know,
The show has so many secrets. Like, I'm dying to know what's up with your character.
Exactly, though. But that's, you know, that's what I think. We put all this time and effort, and you know, the writers are busting their ass to make season 6 as cool as it can be. So it's like, I don't want to be the one to
ruin it for
Exactly,
the fans. All
exactly.
good things are worth the wait. You know what I mean,
Exactly.
right?
I can share some insight about Theo, though.
Okay, great.
So we're gonna see the same Theo that we love to hate, which
Like
is cool.
crawling out of the ground or
I
something?
make a triumphant return. It's pretty badass. But there's a new side to him, and it's really cool because I get to explore this element this season of like this broken guy. You know, he lost this battle that he thought he was winning, and you know, now he has to face the people that he's manipulated, that he's lied to, that he's attempted to kill. So there's like this.
Like redemption? Like he's going to be a good guy?
I think it's possible.
Hopefully?
It's possible
Okay.
if he wants it.
Okay.
But he's going to strive hard for it, and he's going to have to work for that because it's definitely not going to be given easily by anyone in Scott's pack. But there's just a new side to this character. You know, there's this vulnerability. There's this, you know, almost guilt. Like we see this side of Theo that we didn't know was there, and it's, you know, this side of humanity to him, and I think it's really cool.
One thing I love about the show, it tops itself, and
It does.
that's the reason why it's been on so long. And just seeing like the villains, the Dread Doctors were scary enough for me. They had a really eerie vibe about them, almost like the Jason, how he'll just
Yeah.
walk and then they'll still be gaining on you. All that stuff was scary, but this season it just topped it. It's almost like catastrophic. It's like, how is the pack gonna get out of this one? Mm-hmm. And it's you kind of have to have faith in the show and Scott and the pack, and so I really like that. It's a crazy roller coaster ride.
And I read an interview that Scott and Styles are going to kind of go back to like season 1 vibes. What can you share as far as like the more human side of the relationships that people have on the show? Like those funny buddy moments or like romance or like what's going to happen with your character?
Yeah, well, my character's always been, and same with Styles, you know, since we're both the humans, we're kind of like the gateway for the audience to kind of relate more to the show. And, you know, it's an exciting thing for Mason to be a part of it. And, you know, he definitely keeps his sense of humor, which I think is awesome.
Because I forget too, it's like if you guys get hurt, it's actually like way worse.
Exactly.
You'll actually die.
You don't come back. Like, you break an arm, that thing's
Yeah,
broke for a
exactly.
minute. So, yeah, it's definitely has to be very more careful than the rest of them. But, you know, it's cool. I really like that Mason's the human. Even though I wanted him to be like a supernatural, I got to be the beast. So
Next year we might be back here, season 7, and
Yeah.
you're like, hey, guess what I am now?
I'm the werewolf. I'm the
Something you've
alpha.
never heard of before.
Yeah, I'm a bumblebee.
I'm excited about. I think just the friendships. Every season it seems like like my character or my friendship with or Liam's friendship with Mason and his relationship with Hayden. They're getting more and more specific in terms of the way the dialogue is written, and it seems like they're learning more and more about each other, and in our actual relationships in real life are shining through. You know, it seems like the writers are really taking notice to the way that we act in real life and are implementing that into the show.
What do you think people are going to be shocked by with your character in season 6?
All the hair. I have so much hair.
I know, look at this chest hair that's happening right here. You're such a manly man.
They're going to see all this hair, and they're going to be shocked because it's disgusting.
No, it's not at all.
And if you guys want more season 6 Teen Wolf in your life, click to the left to check out the whole cast playing the BFF Challenge, or click over to the right to get my exclusive chat with Tyler Posey, where he talks all about Dylan O'Brien. And another big thanks to T-Mobile. With double the LTE coverage, you can now stay in the know in more places.